And tell us about the process for these lamps.
Well, my friend's boyfriend was making a cedar oar for his kayak, and he had all these shavings, and they knew I was working on this project, so they gave me a big garbage bag full of cedar shavings. First of all, they smelled amazing, but they also looked really beautiful when you put them up to the light, so I was like, I have to use these in some way. So they became part of this particular lamp, and they're very hard to work with, but if you look through the light, they catch it really, they're so thin. So that's supposed to be like, oh, using something that would have been thrown away otherwise.
Just what inspired it besides the materials? Like if you said reused materials ideally? Or
ideally reused. The dimensions of the steel rod are meant to use the whole piece of steel rod, like it's the 20-foot rod. 20-foot rod. So 4-foot pieces, so you trim it up and you don't have any waste, and that's what determines the size. So just thinking about that kind of thing. It might be new rod, but it's not like you're creating any waste with it. Or part of it I inherited from my welding instructor. It was rusting in his yard. So just taking that and finding a use for it.
So it's kind of like
scrap perforated just from the scrap yard or whatever you want to call it.
So it's kind of like being a hunter and using everything of the deer when you kill it.
Bricolage, as they call it, making do with what you have.
Okay.
But I ran out of time, so I had to buy this at the fabric store, which I feel kind of guilty about, but
it's a work in
today
progress.
was the deadline.
What a confession.
Yeah, it's a confession.